For our discussion today on cybersecurity, we are very fortunate to have two subject matter experts. We had three, unfortunately David Shipley is ill this morning. Each of these individuals brings a unique perspective to our discussion. Chetan Phull, principal lawyer at Smartblock Law, an internet technology law firm in Toronto. David Shipley, who would have been on the call, is a certified information security manager and co-founder of Boucheron Security. Ruby Ray, National Cyber Practice Leader at Marsh Canada. And lastly, I would like to introduce Judy Smith, Vice President at Marsh Canada, who will be moderating the call. At this point, I'll turn the call over to Judy.
Thank you, Tony and Georgiana, for having us and giving us an opportunity to talk about this important topic. And I wanted to just get to our first speaker, which is a friend of mine, Chetan Phull. And Chetan, as Tony mentioned, is the principal lawyer at Smartblock Law, which is an internet technology law firm based in Toronto. I met Chetan about 2 years ago at a security event that the government and Ryerson University put on. And he's done some speaking engagements in the past with me. He's so brilliant. And I know that he's going to talk about data privacy and compliance and how your data is moving cross-border and sort of what we're seeing.
Great. Thanks, Judy. And thanks, Tony. All right. So here we are. We're going to be talking about due diligence, or rather the privacy framework in Canada and international developments, breaches, and artificial intelligence. Okay. More about me. Again, if you dig in deeper, the presentation is available for you afterward. If you care to dig in deeper, even beyond the presentation, I would encourage you to have a look at my book, Big Data Law in Canada. It has been picked up by a number of law libraries in Canada. It is mandatory reading for a cybersecurity Master of Laws course in the States, and it has been submitted to Parliament to hopefully assist with privacy law reform in Canada. And the usual disclaimer to this presentation applies. So here's the agenda. I'm going to be covering three topics as fast as I can, just because I have limited time. First, we'll be talking about the privacy law framework in Canada and its complexities and things that you should know about in managing your operations. And then we're going to be talking about the latest international developments within privacy law that are affecting what happens in Canada. Next, we'll be talking about breach law and what you should do in the event of a breach. And finally, we'll be talking about artificial intelligence and how it's being regulated, not only from a privacy perspective, but also from the perspective of how the operation of artificial intelligence systems is going to be permitted going forward. So first, privacy law in Canada and latest international developments. Privacy law in Canada is covered first by a patchwork of regulations. That patchwork covers a variety of jurisdictions, and I've given examples here in the presentation. And it covers a variety of industries, for example, the health industry. And another industry example is financial and investment. And another, scope of coverage of the regulations would be with respect to whether we're talking about the private sector versus the public sector. So for example, PIPEDA covers employee information in federally regulated organizations, but also the private sector federally. And then the Privacy Act takes over with other aspects of federal regulation in the public sector. And then, of course, there are criminal code aspects to privacy that should be kept in mind. These deal with egregious acts, but they should be at the back of everyone's mind right now, since we're just starting to get out of the wild, wild west of data operations, now with companies being more mindful of their public responsibilities. There's also a variety of statutory torts that apply in the area of privacy. They apply differently from province to province. And then there's this legislation called CASL. CASL covers commercial electronic messages, so things like spam. And there are various bases for one party to sue another party that does not appear in legislation per se, but can arise in various other contexts. So here are some of the causes of action that you can allege against another party in privacy.